While millions of people struggle with the crowded and expensive lifestyle of America's major coastal cities, others have chosen to stay in North Dakota, a place often dismissed as nothing more than an empty stretch in the heart of the United States. This is a land of vast open prairies, where long winters and blizzards with temperatures dropping to 30 degrees below zero can isolate an entire town. Yet through the darkness of the night, the flames from oil rigs continue to burn without stopping. Surprisingly, this harsh landscape hides a contradiction that catches many people off guard. In many small towns, residents still leave their doors unlocked. Household incomes rank among the highest in the United States, and poverty is rarely seen. What has created such a remarkably different way of life? Join us as we uncover the answer. Bordering Canada, North Dakota is one of the largest and least populated states in the United States. In many counties, there are more cattle than people. Those numbers alone reveal that life here follows a very different rhythm from much of the rest of the country. But what truly makes North Dakota unique is not its size, it is the overwhelming feeling of endless space. Across the Great Plains, an area nearly twice the size of Portugal, the land stretches all the way to the horizon. Within this immense landscape, small towns, ranches, and the scattered signs of human life seem like tiny dots in a vast sea of grass. North Dakota's landscape was shaped over millions of years by ancient glaciers and powerful rivers. Today, the Missouri River and the Red River remain the state's two most important waterways. The Red River is especially unusual because it is one of the very few rivers in North America that flows from south to north. But it is distance that truly shapes everyday life here. In many rural communities, people drive more than half an hour just to reach the nearest grocery store. The spaces between ranches are so vast that the sky itself seems to be the closest neighbor. Across the open prairie, the wind encounters almost nothing to slow it down. It can blow for hours without interruption, becoming a familiar soundtrack to daily life. That is why full-size pickup trucks in North Dakota are not symbols of power or luxury. They are simply practical vehicles built for long distances, relentless prairie winds, and winters buried beneath deep snow. Over generations, this immense landscape and its harsh natural conditions have helped shape a culture of independence and resilience among the people who live here. Yet this endless landscape is only the first layer of North Dakota. Beneath the seemingly peaceful prairie lies one of the largest shale oil reserves in the United States, a resource that has transformed the destiny of this land in just a few decades. For generations, western North Dakota was a quiet landscape of open grasslands and scattered ranches. Then, within just a few short years, everything changed. The development of the Bakken Shale Oil Formation transformed this remote rural region into the center of America's largest oil boom. Tens of thousands of workers arrived from across the country. At the height of the boom, truck drivers in the oil industry could earn far more than many office workers in major cities. The rapid transformation caught many small towns completely unprepared. Dirt roads that had once been used mainly by tractors became crowded with endless convoys of massive tanker trucks. Small family restaurants suddenly found themselves serving 10 times as many customers as before, while temporary housing camps made of modular units appeared across the prairie to meet the overwhelming demand for places to live. But like many resource booms throughout history, the oil rush did not last forever. As the boom slowed, the temporary housing camps that had once been brightly lit throughout the night gradually emptied. Some were abandoned altogether, allowing the prairie to quietly reclaim its familiar sense of simplicity. The oil boom transformed the face of North Dakota, but as the rapid changes gradually faded, its small towns returned to their quiet and familiar rhythm. Perhaps that is why, in a place once shaken by billions of dollars from oil, the most enduring legacy has been the people themselves and their commitment to preserving the communities they call home. Yet North Dakota's stability is not built on oil alone. In many small towns, residents continue to enjoy a standard of living that can be difficult for many people in America's coastal states to imagine. Detached homes with spacious yards, garages large enough for 2 or 3 vehicles, and open land behind the house remain a common sight. For many young families, owning a home in North Dakota is still an achievable goal, rather than a financial burden that stretches over decades, as it often does in many large cities. The combination of relatively high incomes, a reasonable cost of living, and abundant land has created a stable quality of life, helping to explain why so many people choose to build their future in this part of the country. As the sun rises over the eastern prairie, a new day begins along the main streets of small towns. A family diner turns on its lights, welcoming the first customers with the aroma of bacon, fried eggs, and freshly poured black coffee that never seems to stop flowing. Around simple wooden tables, the morning conversations almost always revolve around the weather forecast, soil moisture, and the latest wheat prices. The coffee table conversations do not last long. As the sun climbs higher, everyone heads back to the fields, where another day of work begins. During harvest season, combine harvesters as large as small rooms move slowly across endless fields of golden wheat, working from sunrise until late into the evening. For experienced farmers, every harvest is a gamble. A single hailstorm, drought, or early frost can wipe out the rewards of an entire year. Even so, many families continue to care for land that has been passed down through 4 or 5 generations. Together, they preserve one of the largest agricultural regions in the United States, where nearly 90% of the land is devoted to farming. Across the flat prairie, towering grain elevators rise against the blue sky. For generations, they have become symbols of the Great Plains and are often called the Cathedrals of the Prairie. As night falls, the whistle of grain trains echoes from the distant horizon. Freight trains, stretching for miles, slowly pass through small towns, carrying the harvest of an entire season and serving as the familiar heartbeat of the region's economy. The demands of rural life are softened on Friday nights during the fall, when high school football games bring entire communities together. In many small towns across North Dakota, these games are far more than sporting events. They are weekly gatherings where neighbors reconnect after long days and weeks of hard work. Under the bright stadium lights, the sound of the school marching band blends with the cheers of the crowd as everyone focuses on the field. In one of the most sparsely populated parts of the United States, evenings like these help keep small towns closely connected and always ready to support one another. That same spirit of helping one another has kept life on the prairie strong for generations. Just as an entire community fills the Friday night stands to cheer on their hometown team, stories about remarkable places like this also rely on the support of viewers to keep reaching new audiences. If you have enjoyed this story, you can tap the hype button below. Every hype you give is a genuine show of support that helps the journey through North Dakota reach more people through the appreciation and choice of the community itself. Thank you sincerely for being part of this journey. And now, let us continue on to the next chapter of North Dakota's remarkable heritage. Bordering Canada, North Dakota is known not only for its endless fields, but also as one of the places where the heritage of the Volga German community has been preserved most strongly in the United States. To truly understand life here, it is best to begin in family kitchens and small local diners where the memories of generations continue to live on through everyday meals. In the late 19th century, many Volga German families left Europe in search of a new life on the vast plains of North Dakota. The region's agricultural conditions closely resembled the grasslands they had once called home, encouraging many of them to settle here permanently. More than a century later, many of their traditions remain alive, from language and religious faith to family recipes that have been passed down from one generation to the next. Step into a local diner on a winter day, and the warm aroma of butter, flour, and potatoes fills the room. Steaming bowls of Knöfle soup arrive at the table, followed by golden fried Fleischkuchle and freshly sliced pieces of Kuchen. These are more than familiar local dishes. They are the flavors that have sustained generations of residents since the earliest days of settling the prairie. Even today, Many families learn to prepare these recipes from their parents and grandparents before passing them on to their own children as part of their family heritage. That same spirit of preserving tradition is clearly reflected in the Sunday potluck meals held at local churches. From a distance, the white steeples of small churches rise above the endless sea of prairie grass, serving as familiar landmarks in towns across North Dakota. Though modest in size and design, these churches have long been the heart of community life. After the service, families arrive carrying homemade dishes and gather around long shared tables. Lively conversations fill the room as plates are passed from one person to another, and the aroma of freshly prepared food creates a warm and welcoming atmosphere. For the people here, a potluck is much more than a shared meal. It is a time for neighbors to check in on one another, for new families to be welcomed into the community, and for traditions of togetherness to be passed from one generation to the next. It is around these simple kitchens and long tables that the enduring strength of North Dakota's communities becomes most visible, a strength that has carried its people through countless harsh winters. Beyond its agricultural landscape lies a world of surprising natural beauty. During the summer, vast areas of the state are covered with sunflower fields stretching all the way to the horizon. As the leading producer of sunflowers in the United States, North Dakota cultivates hundreds of thousands of acres each year, creating one of the most iconic landscapes of the Great Plains. As the sun sets, the fields are bathed in a warm amber glow, creating one of the defining scenes of a North Dakota summer. As the golden colors of summer give way to the quiet tones of autumn, the prairie sky comes alive with another remarkable journey. Every spring and fall, millions of migratory birds travel along the Central Flyway, one of North America's most important migration routes. From enormous flocks of brilliant white snow geese to countless species of ducks, they fill the sky with constant movement and a chorus of calls that continues for weeks. Yet the hidden beauty of this land is revealed most clearly after sunset. Its sparse population and ongoing efforts to preserve dark skies in places such as Theodore Roosevelt National Park have created remarkably pristine nighttime conditions. Far from the glow of city lights, the Milky Way stretches vividly across the sky. During periods of intense solar activity, the northern lights may also appear, offering the rare opportunity to witness shimmering ribbons of green, purple, and red dancing across the night sky over the continental United States. These seasonal transformations are only the prelude to the greatest challenge the land faces each year. When winter truly arrives, North Dakota is transformed beneath a blanket of snow as temperatures quickly fall below 30 degrees Celsius. In the biting cold, relentless prairie winds whip up blinding snowstorms that can bring outdoor life almost to a standstill. Yet for the people who live here, winter is not an enemy to be feared. It is a season that brings communities even closer together. The greatest surprise can be found on the surfaces of the state's massive frozen lakes. Once the ice reaches a safe thickness of several inches, many people drive their pickup trucks onto the frozen lakes and create temporary ice fishing villages that remain throughout the winter. At the height of the season, thousands of heated ice houses and small cabins can be seen scattered across the larger lakes, forming lively communities on the ice. Inside these cabins, people enjoy modern comforts that include kitchens, satellite television, and underwater cameras that allow them to watch fish swimming beneath the ice. Surrounded by endless snow and bitter winds, friends and families spend their time fishing, sharing a cold beer, warming themselves by the heater, and exchanging stories from everyday life. The warmth of winter comes not only from heaters on the frozen lakes, but also from the kindness of the people themselves. Living in such harsh conditions has encouraged many rural communities across North Dakota to maintain a strong tradition of helping one another. In farming communities, when heavy snow falls, residents often clear roads with their own snowplows without waiting for anyone to ask. During dangerous blizzards, it is not uncommon for families living on remote farms to open their doors to stranded travelers, offering them shelter and a hot evening meal. Amid the harshness of winter, kindness and a willingness to help others have long been an ordinary and deeply valued part of everyday life in North Dakota. Leaving the flat farmland of eastern North Dakota behind, the landscape begins to change dramatically. Rolling grasslands give way to eroded cliffs, winding canyons, and the rugged terrain of the Badlands. Here, the endless wheat fields disappear, replaced by vast cattle ranches that have been operated by generations of ranching families. Hidden among these rugged valleys, the small town of Medora remains a living symbol of North Dakota's enduring Western spirit. It was this harsh and rugged land that helped transform the life of Theodore Roosevelt. In 1884, after suffering the devastating loss of both his mother and his young wife, on the very same day, the young New York politician came to the Badlands seeking solitude and a fresh start. The years he spent living as a rancher, riding horseback through the clay canyons, and working the open range, helped him recover from one of the darkest periods of his life. His experiences in the Badlands profoundly shaped his view of the natural world, and later inspired his commitment to establishing America's national conservation system. The clearest symbol of that conservation legacy can still be seen roaming the trails of the national park that bears Theodore Roosevelt's name. These are the American bison. Weighing nearly a ton, with their massive shoulders, thick shaggy mane, and distinctive curved horns, They are the largest land mammals in North America. Once pushed to the brink of extinction by widespread hunting during the 19th century, the bison has made a remarkable recovery and today stands as one of the most enduring symbols of the American wilderness. Visitors are often treated to unforgettable moments as herds of bison calmly cross the road just a few yards ahead of their vehicles, or quietly graze beneath the golden light of sunset across the vast Badlands. Encounters like these make it feel as though time has carried you back to the American West of more than a century ago. As darkness slowly settles over the rugged limestone ridges of the Badlands, the spirit of the West lives on through one of Medora's most distinctive dining traditions, the pitchfork steak fondue. Following an old cowboy style, thick cuts of beef are skewered on long-handled pitchforks before being lowered into giant outdoor kettles of boiling oil. Within just a few minutes, the outside develops a crisp golden crust, while the inside remains tender and full of rich natural juices. Enjoyed beside an open fire, overlooking the windswept valley, this outdoor meal offers an authentic Western experience unlike any other. That spirit of freedom reaches its peak when rodeo competitions begin. As the announcer's voice echoes through the arena, cowboys ride into the ring to the cheers of the crowd. Rodeo celebrates more than events such as calf roping and bronc riding. It is also a rare opportunity for families living on isolated ranches many miles apart to reunite after weeks of work. They gather around smoky barbecue grills, sharing food, stories, and companionship beneath the wide-open prairie sky. More than a century has passed, yet the landscape of the Badlands remains remarkably unchanged. In an America that continues to modernize, this is one of the few places where the spirit of the Old West still quietly lives on. That deep respect for the past often leads many people to believe that North Dakota is a place left behind by the pace of the modern world. But if you shift your gaze away from the rugged Badlands and return to the endless farmland in the east, you will discover a very different reality. At first glance, the scene feels familiar. A farmer wearing faded denim overalls stands at the edge of a field. But instead of squinting at the sky to predict the weather, he holds a tablet in his hands, while a drone lifts into the air above him, mapping the moisture levels across every section of the field. This scene represents a new generation of farmers in North Dakota. Massive combines no longer simply harvest hundreds of acres of wheat with GPS guidance accurate to within centimeters. Using smart farming systems, they integrate AI with advanced sensors to automatically adjust the amount of seed, fertilizer, and irrigation for different areas within the same field. The land remains a treasured legacy, but the way people manage it belongs entirely to the 21st century. Looking toward the horizon, that transformation becomes even more striking. Across the vast open plains, thousands of giant wind turbines steadily turn their brilliant white blades, making North Dakota one of the leading wind power producing states in the United States. They have not replaced the shale oil pumps that continue their steady rhythm, drawing black gold from deep beneath the ground. In North Dakota, fossil fuels and renewable energy are not rivals. They exist side by side, complementing one another as the state's economy continues to grow. Yet there is another transformation that is even more subtle, hidden beneath the thick gray clouds of winter. Temperatures that once plunged to 30 below zero and were seen as a test of survival have now become an unexpected advantage thanks to abundant low-cost energy and vast stretches of available land. Recognizing these natural strengths, North Dakota is attracting a growing number of computing infrastructure projects and data centers. Its naturally frigid climate provides an efficient cooling system, helping these facilities save millions of dollars in operating costs every year. Modern life in North Dakota is not defined by glass skyscrapers or glowing neon lights. North Dakota is not falling behind. It is simply moving forward in a quieter and more practical way. This place proves that people do not have to leave their hometown to reach the future. But after all of this quiet progress, what is the true anchor that keeps people's hearts so deeply connected to this remote land? Join us for the final chapter of this journey. Walking through the neighborhoods of some small towns in North Dakota in the late afternoon, it is easy to sense a rhythm of life that feels remarkably different. It is not unusual to see pickup trucks parked outside local diners with the keys still inside, or homes that rarely need to be locked during the day. Children ride their bicycles through quiet streets until dusk, creating a peaceful scene that has become increasingly rare. At a time when modern life places greater emphasis on privacy and caution, the vast open prairie has helped nurture something far more valuable than material wealth. It has fostered trust. While neighboring South Dakota welcomes millions of visitors each year with famous destinations such as Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills, North Dakota has chosen a quieter path. There are no massive tourist resorts or glittering entertainment complexes competing for attention. This is a land of endless fields, sprawling ranches, and hard-working people who quietly go about their daily lives. The people here know exactly what they do not have. They live far from busy shopping districts, crowded concerts, and the bright lights of major metropolitan cities. But that absence does not mean they have fallen behind. It reflects a different choice about how to live. In return, They enjoy things that have become increasingly precious in the modern world: space to breathe, silence to reflect, and a slower pace of life. That way of life is built upon simple acts of kindness. When strong winds knock down a section of fence, a neighbor often comes over without being asked to help repair it. Along the quiet roads that cross the open prairie, many drivers will stop simply to ask whether someone needs assistance. People how small they are. It is that spirit of helping one another that brings communities closer together through friendly greetings, simple backyard barbecues, and neighbors standing side by side through the long, harsh winters. Life on this land has never been easy. Blizzards, months of bitter cold, and immense distances have always presented real challenges. Yet those very conditions have shaped a community that is resilient, self-reliant, and always willing to lend a helping hand when it matters most. Perhaps that is why, in the end, what keeps so many people rooted in North Dakota is not only its endless wheat fields or the resources hidden beneath its soil. What matters even more is the feeling of belonging to a community and to a land that generations have proudly called home.